If you've told yourself, I'm just tired more than 3 times this month, this might not be tiredness. Burnout is a real condition. The World Health Organization officially classifies it. It has a definition, it has measurable signs, and it has actual stages. And most people miss all of them until they're deep in it. In the next 10 minutes, I'll walk you through what burnout actually is. The hidden signs most people dismiss as just stress, why it happens, and what real recovery looks like, including the part nobody wants to say out loud. This isn't a self-care video, this is the honest version. Let's get into it. First, let's clear something up, because this matters. Burnout isn't laziness. It isn't being dramatic. It isn't a personality flaw. The World Health Organization includes it in the International Classification of Diseases. That's the same manual doctors use to classify real medical conditions. Their definition is this: burnout is a syndrome resulting from chronic workplace stress that hasn't been successfully managed. And it has 3 specific dimensions. 1. Exhaustion, not tired after a long week, tired. A deeper, I slept 9 hours and still feel empty kind of depletion. 2. Increased mental distance from your job, cynicism, detachment, a quiet voice in your head saying, I don't care anymore about things you used to care about. 3. Reduced professional effectiveness. Tasks you used to handle easily now take twice as long. Things you were good at feel slippery. Notice what's not in that definition. Lazy, weak, can't handle it. Burnout is a workplace phenomenon, not a personal failing. And that distinction matters, because if you think it's a you problem, you'll try to solve it by being harder on yourself, which is the exact thing that makes it worse. So what are the actual signs? Here's where it gets interesting, because most of them are hidden. Here's why burnout is so easy to miss. The signs don't show up as one thing, they show up across 4 different categories, and most people dismiss each one individually. Category 1. Emotional signs. This is the one most people notice first, but also the one they're most likely to rationalize. Irritability, loss of motivation, cynicism about your work or your colleagues, feeling detached from projects you used to care about. If you're reading that list thinking, well, I've always been like that, be honest with yourself about whether you've always been like that or whether it crept in over the last 6 months. Category 2. Physical signs. Burnout lives in your body. Headaches, trouble sleeping, either not sleeping or sleeping way too much. Getting sick more often because your immune system is running low. A constant heaviness you can't quite explain. Your body keeps score, even when you're trying not to. Category 3. Cognitive signs. This one scares people the most. Difficulty concentrating, forgetting things, problem solving that used to be easy suddenly feeling impossible. This isn't you losing it, it's your brain protecting itself. Sustained stress literally reduces cognitive bandwidth. Category 4. Behavioral signs. Procrastination on tasks you used to knock out quickly, withdrawing from colleagues, calling in sick more often, avoiding the emails, the meetings, the things you used to handle without thinking. If you're nodding along to 2 or 3 of these categories, not just one, that's the signal. One category is a bad week. Multiple categories, sustained over time, is burnout. Next, the part people really don't want to hear, why it happens and why it's usually not your fault. Here's something that's going to sound like an excuse but isn't. Burnout is usually systemic. It's not a you problem. The common causes: excessive workload and unrealistic deadlines, lack of control over your own tasks, a workplace culture that undervalues people, poor work-life balance, and the one almost nobody talks about, working in a role that doesn't match your actual values or strengths. That last one is the stealth killer. You can have a reasonable workload, nice colleagues, decent pay, and still burn out if the work itself is fundamentally misaligned with who you are. Your brain and body know the mismatch even if your logic doesn't. So why does this matter? Because if the cause is systemic, the fix can't be purely individual. A weekend off doesn't repair a structural problem. Meditation apps don't rewrite your job description. And resilience training, and I hate to say this out loud, is often just companies putting the responsibility for burnout back on the employees who are being burned out by the company. Understanding this isn't about blaming your employer, it's about giving yourself permission to look at the real root cause instead of spending another 6 months trying to self-help your way out of something that isn't a personal defect. So what does actual recovery look like? Real recovery from burnout has 5 parts. All 5 matter. Skipping any one of them is why people rest for a week, go back to work, and crash again within a month. Step 1. Actual rest. Not Catch up on emails on Sunday, rest, real rest, sleep, time away from the thing that's draining you. Even a few days of genuine disconnection can start the reset, but rest alone isn't the fix. It's the foundation. Step 2. Reconnect with what you actually need. Burnout happens partly because we stop listening to ourselves. Ask the hard question, what's missing here? Autonomy, purpose, recognition, creativity. Journal it. Talk to someone you trust. The point isn't the answer, it's getting back in touch with your own signal. Step 3. Set real boundaries. Not "I'll try to stop checking emails at night" boundaries. Actual ones. Learning to say no to unreasonable demands. Creating hard stops between work and life. Boundaries aren't rude, they're the only way recovery sticks. Step 4. Get support. You can't think your way out of this alone. Talk to your manager or HR if that's possible in your workplace. Talk to a therapist who specializes in workplace stress. Talk to friends who get it. Isolation makes burnout worse every time. Step 5, and this is the one most recovery advice skips: realignment. If your burnout comes from doing work that doesn't fit who you are, no amount of rest will fix that. You can rest for 6 months and still wake up dreading the same misaligned role. Sometimes recovery means changing the job. Not today, not in a panic, but as a real, considered step. That last step is the hardest, but there's a way to start it that doesn't involve quitting, panicking, or blowing up your life. Okay, let's talk about that 5th step. Realignment sounds scary because it sounds like quit your job. It doesn't have to mean that. Realignment just means getting honest about whether your current role actually fits who you are, your values, your strengths, the environments where you do your best work. Most people skip this step because they don't know where to start. Find a job that fits you sounds great in theory and impossible in practice. That's the problem I built CareerSeeker AI to solve. It uses personality research and your own answers to honest questions to match you with career paths that actually fit your wiring. It won't tell you to quit. It won't manufacture urgency. It just gives you a clear-eyed look at options you might not have considered. So if you do decide to make a change, you're making it towards something, not away from something. The free version takes under 10 minutes. No account, no email, no login needed. If you're on the edge of burnout or already past it, it's worth 10 quiet minutes to see what the data says about you. Links in the description. You don't have to do anything with it today. Just know what's possible. Let me leave you with this. Burnout is real. It's recognized. It's not a weakness. It's not a personality flaw. And it's not something you can hustle your way out of. If you've been noticing multiple categories of signs, emotional, physical, cognitive, behavioral, please take it seriously. Rest first. Reconnect with what you need. Set real boundaries. Get support. And if the root cause is that the job itself doesn't fit who you are, give yourself permission to explore what might. You can start with the free CareerSeeker AI quiz. Link is right below. No pressure, no commitment, just information. If this video helped you feel a little less alone in what you're going through, hit subscribe. I'm making more of these. And if someone in your life needs to hear this, send it their way. I'll see you in the next one.